Hello guys, in our previous video we have seen the overview about the data science and its roles and responsibilities. Today we are going to take our first step in our learning curve. Exactly, in this session we are going to learn about the basics of statistics used in data science. In our schools and colleges we have learned about various statistical methods and techniques. But most of us we doesn't know the application and usage of it. In this reality world, there is a huge scope in statistics. Even big retailers such as Walmart hire statisticians to figure out how to market to us better. Statistics is everywhere and it plays a very extensive role in some technologies which we use every day like Alexa and Google Assistant. As a human, we are all using statistics every second. Our brain internally doing some statistical stuff to analyze the probability of things happened and things to be happened. Statistics is a discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation and presentation of data which are qualitative and quantitative in nature. It helps us to describe and infer some new information from the historical data such as sales prediction and weather forecast. Statistics is used in many sectors such as physiology, geology, sociology, weather forecasting, probability and much more. Wow, it's really interesting. The goal of statistics is to understand the data. It focuses on application and hence it is distinctly considered as a mathematical science. As I said before, statistics help us to analyze and infer new information. To do this, we have three methods: data collection, data summarization, statistical analysis. First, let's see about data collection. Before doing some analysis, we need data so that we should collect the data which are appropriate for our analysis. Before knowing in detail about data collection, we have to know about which type of data we require for our analysis. So it's very important to know about the data types: nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. These are the four main data types. Nominal. These measurements do not have meaningful rank order among values. Ordinal measurement have implies difference between consecutive values. Interval measurement have a meaningful distance between measurement, but the zero value is arbitrary and permits linear transformation. And finally, ratio measurement have both meaningful distance between different measurement and zero values and permit any rescaling transformation. The variable comprises of only nominal or ordinal measurement cannot be reasonably measured numerically. So they are grouped together as categorical variables, where ratio and interval measurements are grouped together as qualitative variables which can be either discrete or continuous. Expert says that ratio measurement is a good one for any analysis because of its properties. These types of data can be collected in different ways. Now, let's see those in detail. First technique is sampling. When we cannot able to collect the data from the whole population due to some factors like time consumption, manpower requirement, we can collect sample data by developing specific experiment design and survey samples. The idea of making inference based on sample data began around mid-1600s. To use a sample as a guide to an entire population, it's very important that it should truly represent the overall population. Statistics itself offers methods to estimate and correct any bias within the sample and data collection procedure by using the method of experiment design. For example, if a drug manufacturer would like to research the adverse side effect of a drug on the population of the country, it is close to impossible to be able to conduct a research study that involves everyone. In this case, the researcher studies a sample of people from each demographic and then conducts the research from them, which gives them an indicative feedback on behavior of drug on the population. The second important technique in data collection is experimental and observational studies. As a data scientist or a statistician, we have to analyze and draw conclusions based on the effect of changes in the value of independent variable on dependent variable. To do this, there are two major types of statistical studies: experimental studies, observational studies. In both types of studies, the effect of difference of the independent variable on the behavior of dependent variable are observed. The difference between two types lies in how the study is actually conducted. An experimental study involves taking measurement of the system under study, manipulating the system, and then taking additional measurement using the same procedure to determine if the manipulation has modified the value of measurements. Example, determining whether increased illumination would increase the productivity of assembly line workers. In contrast, an observational study does not involve experimental manipulation. Instead, data are collected and relationship between predictor or independent variable or response or dependent variable are investigated. Example, explore the association between smoking and lung cancer. In this case, the researcher would collect observations of both smokers and non-smokers, then look for a number of cases of lung cancers in each group. A case control study is another type of observational study in which people with or without the outcome of interest like lung cancer are invested to participate and their exposure histories are collected. Okay, now we have collected the data for our study. Next, what we have to do? We have to summarize the data and finally we have to analyze them. We can do all these things with the help of the tools provided by statistics. Descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, and finally explorative data analysis. When we look about the descriptive statistics, it is the summarized statistics that quantitatively describe or summarize feature of a collection of information. On the other hand, inferential statistics infer properties of a population by testing hypotheses and deriving estimates. It is assumed that the observed dataset is sampled from a large population. Descriptive statistics aims to summarize a sample rather than use the data to learn about the population. It is concerned with the properties of observed data and it does not rest on the assumption that the data comes from the larger population. Next, let's see about the terminology and theory of inferential statistics. In inferential statistics, there are two main terminologies. The first terminology is statistic estimator. When it is not possible to directly measure the value of population parameter, statistical methods are used to infer the likely values of parameter on the basis of statistic computed from a sample taken from the population. When a statistic is used to estimate a population parameter, it is known as estimator. The second important terminology is hypothesis testing. It is also known as confirmative data analysis. Commonly, in this process, two statistical data sets are compared or a data set obtained by sampling is compared against a synthetic data set from an idealized model. Type 1 error and type 2 error, p-value, interval estimation, and significance, these are the most important thing we have to take in concern, which we will discuss in detail in future updates. Along with this, some well-known statistical tests and procedures such as ANOVA, chi-square test, factor analysis, man-Whitney test, and other procedures will also be discussed. Finally, in this session, let's see about the exploratory data analysis. It is an important approach for analyzing data sets to summarize their main characteristic, often with visuals like plots and graphs. Exploratory data analysis is an important process in data science in which one can able to understand the data more deeper and deeper. In our further videos, we are going to look over about the hypothesis testing, estimator function and distribution, which is going to be a strong basement for our future knowledge. So be ready for that. Thank you.